It's Louisville's new rock alternative, Out with a 5-1. It is PK, and with me I have at Charity and Maddie from The Head and the Heart. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Good. Trying to stay cool in Louisville.
I know. I know. It is unusually warm, which is like, it's usually not this warm for this festival, but I mean, it is still decent weather, especially when you're thinking festival settings. So I do want to ask, first off, because this is Bourbon and Beyond, are you guys bourbon drinkers at all?
You know, I appreciate a good bourbon, although I would not even dare to call myself a connoisseur of any kind, because I will be caught dead in the middle of a lie. But I'll partake in it on occasion and do enjoy it. So especially when in Rome, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
I'd say old school Charity was very much into bourbon. Now I'm maybe more in the Beyond realm of things. Yeah.
CBD drinks.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I entered that phase of like, okay, maybe not Bourbon and Beyond, but like since like having a kid, it's like, all right, Bed Bath and Beyond. Like I can go back to that realm instead. But
you know, shout out to, I mean, there's such a trend of non-alcoholic options, and I'm definitely swimming in that realm, and it's pretty incredible what they do.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually a great group here called 1 Million Strong, and they're very like, they do non-alcoholic drinks, but like you still get like kind of like the cocktail vibe of it and everything, but they're very supportive with that, and like anybody who is trying to stay sober or wants to get sober, anything like that. So they're actually really good, and they partner with the festival. Yeah, so it's fantastic having them here. So yeah, definitely some options if you want to check any of that out. But I mean, yeah, but you can have the bourbon instead.
That was super too, you know.
I love it. But I'm very excited to have you guys here. Looking forward to checking out the set in just a little bit here at Bourbon and Beyond. And I do want to talk new music, everything. It's been a couple of years for you guys, and a lot of change has been going on behind the scenes that we don't have to get too into. But you know, you got a new album that's going to be coming out. Tell me a little bit about how things have evolved for you guys as a band from the past album over the past, 2+ years or so.
Well, yeah, I mean, the last album was kind of a product of the times, of COVID, and an extension of that. And so this time around, and I think that every album is a reaction to the one just before it. So not only was it important to feel like we had to get together just physically because we were privileged enough, to do that, but also because I think just spiritually, energetically, being in the same room and writing from nothing together, band in a room, live sound, trying to capture that, as kind of capture the magic with immediacy. We were writing in studios between Virginia and Seattle, and so that definitely was really harkens back to the first records that we made as a band.
Yeah, that's right. Like she just mentioned Seattle and Virginia, which are basically two home bases for our. Yeah, Richmond specific.
I'm not. Yeah, let me.
No. Oh, I didn't mean to point out that, but yeah. Richmond, Virginia, specifically, are home bases for the band. Two of our core members live out there, and then the rest of us, or some of us, live out in Seattle, and so it felt really good to be able to kind of feel grounded and feel at home and feel a renewed sense of purpose as a band and a renewed sense of connectivity, and really come at all the songwriting from a very kind of almost egalitarian place where we were just kind of letting the magic happen in the room and see where the winds were blowing us, and it came up with some really interesting and fun songs that I think people are really going to like. So,
and the best record that we've ever made as a band, so we can't even wait to be able to share it,
I'm here for it. And so I know that you guys self-produced this one. Is this the first time that you've self-produced an album?
No, our first records were self-produced and co-produced with the engineers of the record. So again, it's harkening back to how we started.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to go back, to the beginning, and I mean, it's been 15 years as a band, so, definitely a lot of things that have changed that you've had to go through, all of that. So what's something that you would tell yourself 15 years ago? What's the advice that you would give, minus 15 from the age?
Yeah, that's always a challenging one, right? Because in some ways you want to set your past self up for not having to go through the hardship that you did. But if you did that, you wouldn't get to the place where we are now, which feels like we've actually overcome. We've overcome some of the obstacles that were meant to be there in front of us, and it helped make us stronger, and it helped get us to the place where now we're making the best music of our careers, and we're connected and better than we could have ever been had we gone back in time and told ourselves not to do this or that. Does that make sense? So in a weird way, despite warts and all, like, we had to go through what we went through, and we're grateful for that.
You're just gonna say like, "Yep, same answer."
Yeah, I mean, just trust ourselves and each other, and conviction is never wrong and is always authentic.
I like it. Well, I got one more question for you, and it might be a little bit of a thinker, and I'll get a response from both of you on it. But when you think about putting together your set list, all right, like festivals are a little bit of a different beast. Like sometimes it's a shorter set, or you got to change it based on whatever. But when you think about headlining show, full set, you got staple songs that you're going to put in, of course, fan favorites, some new music. What's one song you wish you could put on the set list, but it just never makes the cut? It's always right there, but it's like we either don't have enough time, or it's too complicated to put together on stage. What's one that you would wish that you could put in?
I'm gonna go with like a Beastie Boys cover. We rarely get the opportunity. It's always like the second to last one we add, and then we always have to cut it last minute. So like, you got to fight for your right to party usually. We're still working on it. No, I'm sorry, I don't have a serious answer to that question. Do you have a good one, Charity?
I think for a while it took us maybe 5 years to finally start playing Dreamer, and I love that song. It's off of Signs of Light, and we're finally starting to play that, so I'll throw that in there.
I like it. I mean, it is a very tough question, because it's like, it's one of those things where it's like instead of asking like, what's your favorite song, or like, picking from all of your kids, like, who's your favorite, like, it does get tough, but it's always one that I'm curious if there's ever one. But I mean, you got a perfect chance to do a Beastie Boys cover today. I mean, I'd throw it out. I think people they'd be a little bit surprised, that's for sure.
Now there's precedent. Now we've talked about it, so it has to happen at some point. Yeah.
I mean, if it does happen, then we can claim that it was right now that it did happen. But I appreciate you guys stopping by and taking some time to chat and everything. I'm looking forward to the set later on. It's going to be fantastic, and you guys are always welcome to come back to Louisville as soon as you want.
We love Louisville. We love playing Louisville since the very first time, and knowing the My Morning Jacket guys, and it's like they've always just made this place out to be what it amazingly is. It's a very, very, very wonderful spot to play music.
Well, we appreciate you guys, and hopefully we'll have you back soon after the set today, but I appreciate you taking the time.